It worked.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this. I'm Eric Russell. I am out and about here at Richmond Triangle Players with the cast of the Falsettos.
Yay!
So I want you to tell me who you are and who you play in the show, because I may not always remember everything I've watched, because, you know, I'm enjoying the show. But people will know who you are and who you're playing. We're going to start right here with who you are and who you play.
Hi, I'm Rowan Sharma and I play Jason.
Hello, I'm Matt Schaffner and I play Marvin.
I'm Duran Tyree and I play Whizzer.
I'm Kelsey Cordray and I play Dr. Charlotte.
I'm Rachel Mars and I play Cordelia.
I'm Dan Simo, I play Mandel.
Casey Payne and I play Trina.
I absolutely love this show. You guys had me from the moment you just came out. You sang that first song for bitchy Jewish people. I was pulled in. I love everything about this, and I'm trying to, like, the whole title, I believe, is Falsettos, Love Can Tell a Million Stories. So kind of like, let's talk about that, because there's all kinds of love going on here, and the interaction and stuff. So first off, what is love to you? Like, if you define love, how do you define it?
Oh, goodness.
Deep.
Sorry,
Let's start with something really great.
Love is giving, right? That's my answer. Love is giving.
Love is giving.
Love is giving.
I would say love is blind.
Say family.
Family, very true.
Because there's a lot of, like, inner dynamics going on between everybody, between Whizzer and Marty and the wife and the child and the whole thing. It's like watching my own family sometimes, because, you know, it's kind of like you love them, but you may not always like them.
Sure,
Oh,
yes, absolutely.
Briefly, the relationship between your two characters, Whizzer and, I don't feel my brain is really on that, Marvin. I want to say Martin, and I knew that, no, it's Marvin. It's Marvin, and that's why I write things down.
Notes are good.
Notes are good. Let's talk about the data, just briefly. What's the whole, without giving too much away?
Marvin and Whizzer are lovers. It's 1979 at the top of the show, so this is something that's obviously quite taboo for the time period. Even more so because Marvin has left his wife and his son to pursue a relationship with Whizzer, who...
I think it seemed a little transactional at first. You know?
Yes.
I feel like I'm the good time boy. You know, Whizzer is a good time boy, and I think that's where it started at first. Fun and games, you know, and then it turned into something kind of serious. And he realized that as you go on, it kind of realizes that there's more to it than just a sex type of situation.
Because this is 79, 80, so this is like a whole many decades before we are now.
Sure.
But I think the story is still relevant because it deals with families. The relationship between Whizzer and Jason. I want to say Rowan because he's sitting right there. I remember his name. And Jason. Talk about that real quick. What's that like?
I think with Jason has so much complications around him, and I feel like Whizzer brings something that is so not complicated because Whizzer doesn't. I mean, it's not that he doesn't care, but he's really kind of like, like I'll meet him, sure. Like he's a kid. I can relate. I was a kid. He plays baseball. I play baseball. You know, he's his kid. I like him. I guess I like him. Like I think it's very easy. He doesn't push too hard, and I think that's why Jason. I mean, I could be speaking wrong for you, but that's why I think Jason is drawn to Whizzer because Whizzer's so uncomplicated.
Yeah, and after
respect.
that, we just become friends. Like he's my only friend.
Yeah.
Friend.
And he's like, I want to talk to Whizzer, and they're like, Whizzer, what? And then she's even like, Whizzer.
Well,
Just like that.
and I think that's really awesome because growing up, did you have like that one person that you could talk to that wasn't like you saw them just as
Sure.
Who was that for you? Who do you have besides Whizzer? You have like that right now.
Man, I have my sister.
Yeah. I had an aunt who was also a theater person, so, you know, she kind of got it.
Yeah, I had an aunt too, aunt.
And
I had an aunt too that was like, she took me under her wing and she was really kind to me and like taught me to be myself and be you know, be forward with that and be confident in whatever I was dealing with in life and stuff. So
because I think those are really important relationships when you have like they're not your parents type thing.
Right.
Background friends that you had that, or someone in your family that you're kind of like.
I had a really great group of friends that I found in high school, and I think we were kind of a ragtag hodgepodge each other, and to this day, they're still, they don't judge, they just, you're happy for one another. So I was really lucky that I think I found those friends really young at 15.
They weren't judged, but they were there to just be your friend.
Yeah, that really kind of accepted you warts and
Acceptance,
all,
yeah.
and I think I was really fortunate. I was at Performing Arts High School in Kentucky, so I transferred from an all-girls Catholic high school that was very judgy and very uptight to like finding my people, and all of a sudden all this like this theater nerd stuff like made sense, and it was cool, and it was accepted, and good people.
Could be.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody because my parents have always been really supportive of me and very cool and letting me do sort of the things that I was passionate about. So that's kind of, I don't know. I can't think of anybody else.
Great answer. Who here played sports?
I did.
Okay.
I mean, I tried until my father told me to stop.
Just stop.
When you're a 6-foot-tall lady, you are required to play basketball.
Well, and I think that's like part of that whole childhood when you're watching this. You're expected your child to go to Little League and do whatever. Because I sat through many of my nephew's soccer games when he was 3. And when you come off working, from an evening gig, and you have to go and watch 3-year-olds play soccer on a Sunday afternoon.
Riveting
Stuff. And I was prepared with an umbrella, a martini, sunglasses, and a flip card chart to keep score.
There you go.
Because apparently you don't keep score
They
when
don't
they're
keep
3,
score, no.
but I do. Way to go!
Nice.
Yes, goes the other way. All right.
That's my favorite part of the show is how invested I think Kelsey and I both are in the baseball game. As our characters, we're the ones who are like, yes, that is how you swing the bat, Jason. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, everyone else is there for other reasons, but you guys are there
We're like,
for the game.
we love
baseball.
baseball.
There's-
Taking it very seriously.
There's so much of when I'm watching that going, when people are talking about, oh, I love him, but there's all this like conditional love. If you love me, you'll have this bar mitzvah. If we love you, so we want you to play baseball and be really good at it because we know we want it to be good for you, sort of thing. And there's a lot of this conditional love.
Well, and every family wants to fit into this bizarre notion of being a normal family that does not exist. I don't know why we think that that is even an achievable goal. There is no such thing as a normal family.
No.
There's normal and expected activities such as Little League for kids, but that's the surface.
When you played sports, did you really want to be there, or were you kind of like, oh, my parents made me?
I did for a while until I found theater.
I did not. My dad is the head varsity coach of like all sports, so he made me do it until he realized how horrible I was. And I'm connected to him, so he said, Duran, you should sing, play an instrument, go to chorus. And I said, sure.
It's what you do, because at 3 you've got these kids that are like 3 years old, and they all go to soccer. So you sign them up for soccer. So I'm a mom, I have 2 little boys, and you sign them up for soccer because it's what everyone does, and then very quickly you realize that your boys are, twirling in the field or picking flowers, or they're trying to write the plays but not do the plays, and you do what's expected until your children tell you, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. This is not for me. This is not your arena.
Yeah, that's
That has been
Soccer's just not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think like this whole group, like they get pulled into this preconceived of who they're supposed to be or what is expected of them, like with the bar mitzvah, like we have to have this bar mitzvah. Why is it so important? Because like your 2 characters, like we gotta have this, we gotta have this.
Yeah.
It's ritual. It's the things
Rite
that
of
ties
passage.
children. It's a rite of passage.
Tradition.
It's tradition. It's what our community, I think, expects. And since we're a little weird, we're not a normal family, we have to do this one thing right. We have to do this one bar mitzvah right. Because everybody's already talking about us.
Yeah, everything else is just wrong.
It's what you can focus on when everything else is falling apart. We should probably be working on our relationships. Instead, we're going to plan a party.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is great. More
To
the
impress
problem.
everyone
Yes.
else.
We do. That we figured that out. Good.
Yeah. Now we know.
Yay.
We open.
Right. Well, because I think there's a lot of that. I think a lot of people's neurosis as adults is you're trying to, show that you're like the family, and the things that really are, that should be important, like relationships, get pushed to the back because you're focused on Little League or the bar mitzvah and such. Is there ever a time like you just kind of, what was one thing you kind of walked away from? You're like, you said to your parents, no, we're not doing this. Like your character goes, I don't want a bar mitzvah. Do you ever just kind of go like, nope, done, just really went, which then created the whole family drama?
College.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not for me.
Yours is probably better than mine. But I played softball when I was 8, and I was like really good at it. And you know, not everybody knows my family, but baseball is a big part of my family. Kelsey knows because she knows my parents. But like baseball is a big part of my family, and I was playing softball, and I was pretty good. And then when I turned 9, we were the only 9-year-old team, and so we had to play the 12 and under teams, and we lost every single game horribly. And I apparently looked at my mom, and my mom was like, hey, you need to go put your jersey on, we gotta go to your softball game. And 9-year-old me looked at my mom and said, Mom, what's the point?
Nice.
And that's when I quit softball. And they were like, yeah, we don't blame you, but you shouldn't play just to win. And I was like, but isn't winning the fun part?
That's the thing.
You know, it's
They let me get away with that
good
one.
to keep score, because you gotta win, you gotta lose, you gotta learn to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but losing too much is like, I don't want to do this anymore, this isn't fun.
Never mind.
Together.
My mom signed me up for softball to help me be more like well-rounded. And it was late in the season, and they put me on this very successful, very aggressive softball team. And I was a hot mess. I remember this man, Coach Falco, to the day I die, and I struck out every single time I got up to bat. But they would send me out to left field, and I loved left field because I could sing. Nobody heard me, so I was out there doing One Woman Evita in left field. That was the one year I played softball, and it was.
Oh my goodness.
And it's where she developed her technique.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Just like, oh, I have the ball, just by, okay. So besides the loving, the Forges a Room bitching, which I absolutely love, what's your favorite song that your character sings that the whole group does, and why is it your favorite song from the show?
Unlikely Lovers is
Yes.
my favorite. It's mine and Kelsey's favorite song.
I would say that one actually is one of my favorites too. Because it's beautiful and it's simple.
Tight
And it's-
four
and
part
it's-
harmony.
and it's
so
honest.
gorgeous.
Okay.
And it's just it's a moment for the audience to breathe a little bit before it goes to a place.
Or to
You know.
weep a little bit more.
You know? But it's just very for me. I just feel like it's a nice precursor or kind of whatever you want to call
A
it.
respite.
Yes, there you go, respite.
We get to like, the really heavy
Yeah,
parts of the show,
which is
which
like-
we will not talk about because that would be spoilers.
No, we will not.
We will not
We
spoil
will
this.
not.
We will not spoil it for you. You will have to come see it.
Good song. That's a
a good one.
That's the whole thing is sung through. So to
It's a
Two
fun
times
yeah,
so.
to pick a favorite.
I like them breaking down.
I have that one marked.
It's like good to have a breakdown.
Really like that one.
And tonight they gave me extra bananas, so I got to like snacks, singing, yay, my favorite things.
And the audience always loves them breaking down too.
They give you.
I love that one. I really was going. Yes.
Well, I think it's a moment like, you know, you need to have that moment.
Oh,
And,
she
you
needs
know,
to
in
use
order
it.
to be a real character.
Yeah.
She needs to have that moment, and the audience, I think, wants you to have that moment. Like, girl, just do it. Just
She's really in this almost like socially and in the time period, really in this really impossible place. You know, it's you have to be the perfect wife. We have to have this perfect Jewish home. We have to have the perfect Jewish child. I have to be this upsetting, and her little preconceived world is falling apart.
Well, and I think she's somebody I've always did what I was supposed to do. I did what's right, I followed the rules. Why is this all happening to me? You know, I smile, I don't complain. What in the world? Why is everything falling apart? Why?
Well, and
doesn't love you.
well, and to piggyback off of that, I think Marvin is he's a product of his time, and he's you know, everything is as it should be, except that that's not who he is. You know, he has gotten the wife, he has the child, he's got the good job, he's well off. He is everything that a person of the late 70s, early 80s, man of the late 70s, early 80s should be, except that he's gay.
Well, and that was when that's when I came up with child. Yes. I was there for Lawn Darts and all of that. When Star Wars was a brand new movie, and it was just, Star Wars.
There you go.
Looking back, that was really hard on guys at that time, and men and dads.
Yeah.
They really were living two lives. I can talk about my own dad. He's 89, and he just came out. So when I was growing up, it explained a whole lot.
Oh, sure.
Like the man's neurosis, really, I understood this, Marine, marrying a wife and the whole thing, having kids, and had this hole in the 70s. Like, no wonder. And I'm going, I could relate to your character. I could see, like, this is my dad in the 70s and 80s trying to, going, yeah, you'd be a little neurotic.
And he wants it all.
But that's what he's been up to. You have to have the wife, the kid, the career, the whole thing.
And then he wants to fulfill his other stuff,
And he's not being true to him.
And I think that's what Marvin is saying. He's saying, all right, I did what I'm supposed to, so when can I have what I want also? I'm here where I'm supposed to be, so when can I have what I want?
I know when I was a kid going, I really felt bad now for my dad. As a kid. And I was like, your character is trying to resolve all these things, because you've got that one, I want to say it's his song or line, my dad's a homo,
My mother's not
thrilled
thrilled
at all.
Yes, and I just love that. Your character's take on that, where is he in this whole issue?
Well, he loves his mom, and he loves his dad, even though he doesn't want to love his dad. and he really, he grows throughout the show, and he learns that he doesn't have what he needs, but he has to live with it.
Okay. What does he need? What does your character need?
He needs, he wants the stereotypical, but he's not the stereotypical, and he's not surrounded by the stereotypical. So he just needs to be loved and to feel love.
So true. Yeah.
Because ultimately, I think this whole group, they want that unconditional love.
Yeah.
I think people are always searching for it, and unfortunately, we throw those conditions on there. If you love me, you'll do this. If you love me, you'll... Right? And we've all probably dated that person that was so wrong for us. And we're like, no, but I love them.
What?
I married him.
What are you talking about? I don't know. What do you want an audience to take away from this show?
Love can tell a million stories.
I think it's a good line.
I think the healing and it doesn't wrap up with a tiny little package, with a bow at the end. But I think we see that there is understanding and there is peace for these people, because I think they've found strength in each other that they wouldn't have otherwise if these events hadn't happened.
Especially together at the end.
They do, and I think Trena's eyes are certainly open to the to new people, and these are my family. This is my family now. Whether I like it or not, this is my family, and they love me, and oh my goodness, I love them.
I love when she says, trying not to care about this man who Marvin loves,
I do
but
care.
that's my life.
Yeah.
It's what life threw at me, so I may as well accept it. And I think that, this is, it's a show about sort of accepting what is, rather than trying to create something that is
Just
false.
so,
Absolutely.
Falsettos, right? Like,
Oh, wow.
you
You went
but
there.
yeah, and also it's about growing up. It's about just, I don't know, growing up and accepting what comes at you.
Did you grew up and you realize that this little illusion that we saw on TV and sold to us in movies, like, hello honey, I've done a read and dinner
Right.
is ready.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
plastic on the furniture and we'll keep it neat and clean. And
Yeah.
watch Howdy Doody.
I hate to say it again, also a nice little shot.
Thank you.
There.
Thank you.
There you go. Yes.
But yeah, I hate to say it again, but this idea that has been forced on society forever and ever and ever, that you should be achieving some bar, some sense of normality, trying to create this one place where all families and all beings should live, and that is so odd to me.
And we still see it today. We see people going, why haven't I found my perfect man, my perfect wife? Why don't I have, 3 little teacup poodles in my little Versace bag and heading off of the yacht in my, Instagram selfie?
And I say, who needs one man?
You
can have many.
I don't want more than one.
Date.
You just want one.
The moral of the story is live your life.
Live your life. Live how you want to live. Play how you want to play. All of that. I do love this show. You guys were amazing. You made me cry. You made me laugh. I wasn't distracting because, you can hear me like, that's it. That's coming. But this is fantastic. So this show runs through October 5th. Is that correct?
That is true.
That is the truth.
Awesome.
Come and see us.
Please.
Right. You can get tickets at rtriangle.org. So, clicky clack, get it before it's gone.
Get 'em.
I wish I had. So, well, thank you again for being with me this afternoon. It's been fun.
Thank you.
I'm Eric Russell. I've been out and about with the cast of the Falsettos here at Richmond Triangle Players. You never know where I'll turn up next, so make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it. It's always fun to film.
Thanks for chatting with us.
I love chit-chatting.
Drinking with us.